Hey everyone, today we're diving into something really important, how to actually transform your fitness journey. We're going to move way beyond just working out and get into the world of smart, effective tracking, turning all that effort into results you can actually see and feel. So, does this sound familiar? You're putting in the hours, you're trying to be consistent, but the needle just isn't moving. It's so frustrating, right? But here's the thing. What if the problem isn't your effort? What if it's your approach? And this is the big idea we're going to unpack today. Just going through the motions, running, lifting, whatever it is, that isn't the same thing as making real progress. The secret ingredient, the thing that turns all that motion into actual forward momentum, it's measurement. It's the only way you know if what you're doing is actually, working. All right, so where do we even start with all this? Well, it all begins with a clear plan. Think of it like a blueprint for your fitness. And the foundation of any good blueprint? Setting goals that are actually designed to help you succeed. And that brings us to this incredibly simple but super powerful framework, SMART goals. Now, this isn't just about wishing for a result. Nope. It's about engineering one. Each letter, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, gives your goal a solid structure and a ton of clarity, turning it into something you can actually work towards. Let's see how this works in the real world. A vague goal is something like, I want to improve my endurance. Okay, but what does that even mean? Where do you start? Now compare that to a SMART goal. I'm going to run a 5K in under 30 minutes within the next 8 weeks. See the difference? Now you've got an actionable target. You know exactly what you're aiming for and your deadline. And you know why this is such a game changer? It keeps you motivated. A huge, vague ambition can feel totally overwhelming, but a SMART goal, it breaks that big dream down into manageable chunks. Every little win builds your momentum, gives you that feeling of accomplishment, and that's what keeps you pushing forward. Okay, so you've got your awesome SMART goals all set up. The next logical step, right, is figuring out how you're going to measure them. So let's talk about the tools of the trade. What are our options here? Basically, you've got two main paths you can go down. First up, there's good old manual logging, with a simple journal. This is actually fantastic because it really forces you to be mindful and pay attention. Then, on the other hand, you've got digital devices, which give you this constant stream of real-time data, a lot of the time without you even having to think about it. And the digital options we have today, they create this whole powerful ecosystem. You've got smartwatches tracking your biometrics, fitness apps logging your workouts, and then online platforms that can pull all that data together in one place. It gives you this incredible, comprehensive overview of your progress. But here's something you've got to remember. There's no single best tool out there. The right tracker for you is simply the one you'll actually use consistently. Doesn't matter if it's a simple notebook or a fancy high-tech watch, it has to fit not just your goals, but your real everyday life. Okay, now we're getting to what I think is the most important part of this whole thing. See, collecting data, that's the easy bit. The real magic happens when you learn how to understand it. This is all about finding the story that's hidden inside your numbers. Right? You've got pages of notes in your journal, or maybe a dashboard that's just full of metrics. So now what? Just having all that data doesn't do you any good. The whole point is to turn that raw information into insights you can actually do something with. Listen, if you take one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. Focus on the trends over weeks and months, not the little daily ups and downs. Your weight, your speed, how well you slept, it's all going to fluctuate day to day for a million different reasons. Please don't get discouraged or way too excited by a single data point. The real story, the real proof of progress, is in the long-term trend. So what are we looking for exactly? Well, start asking yourself some questions. How is my performance today compared to where I started, my baseline? Am I seeing any interesting patterns, like maybe my heart rate is a little lower during the same workout? Am I recovering faster? These are the trends that really truly tell the story of your progress. Of course, this whole journey isn't always going to be a straight line up, so let's talk about a few common traps that can completely derail your progress, and more importantly, how you can sidestep them. Okay, first trap. Don't get fixated on just one number, especially the number on the scale. It just never tells the whole story. Second, you have to be consistent. Spotty, incomplete data is just misleading. Third, and this one is huge, stop comparing your journey to other people's. This is your race, your pace. And finally, please don't ignore how you feel. Your energy levels, your mood, those are absolutely critical data points too. Here's a cool way to think about it.
Your fitness story has two authors, right? You've got the objective narrator, that's the hard data, the numbers. And then you've got the subjective narrator. That's how you actually feel day to day. Real, true progress happens when those two stories start to line up.
So let's just recap the whole journey real quick. It's a simple 4-step loop that you can just keep repeating. 1. Set a clear, smart goal. 2. Choose the right tool to measure it. 3. Analyze the long-term trends in your data. And 4. Stay aware of those common pitfalls. That's it. That is the cycle of real sustainable progress. Because at the end of the day, tracking isn't really about the numbers on a screen. It's about giving you the power to write your own success story. It's about understanding your body, making smarter choices, and building the exact narrative you want. So the only question left to ask is, what story is your day?